Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this lecture we're going to be basically looking at the Bitcoin wallets and how to set up a Bitcoin wallet and what are currently the best options in terms of Bitcoin wallets. So let's get started. Now I'm not going to be showing you every Bitcoin wallet service online. I'm just going to give you my tips and my opinion on what are the best ones and what I would recommend to a beginner getting into Bitcoin. Of course, if you're not a beginner and you already have experience basically making transactions with Bitcoin, you're free to use whatever other service that you may like or that you enjoy. So the first option I'm going to show you is Coinbase. Now, the reason I say Coinbase is because firstly, it's the leading Bitcoin service in terms of exchanges done. That means it has a very high user base, and from that it means that it's very, very trusted. Now, it's not completely fully trusted because of the following reasons. Firstly, it does not deal with your Bitcoin wallet in the appropriate way, in the sense that it basically knows your address, your Bitcoin address, and from that basically means that it can identify you, for example, with your personal information to that Bitcoin address. And that really hinders anonymity. And if someone were to get that, they can literally just trace all the transactions that you've done. And that's something that people really don't like. Apart from that, as I said, it's very beginner friendly. And it's a very stable service in the sense that it's got a lot of backing and has got a lot of investors. The one of the disadvantages I think is a big problem is the fact that it's not supported worldwide and is only supported currently in 32 countries. This service, Coinbase, basically operates online. So you have to create an account and you can basically get your address, your Bitcoin address, and start transacting with Bitcoin. I'm going to get to that shortly. So basically, you can access it on the web and on your mobile device on Android or iPhone. It has insurance protection. You have instant exchange, secure storage, full control or in terms of your private keys. It has a signature vault, and you can basically invest in the currency by scheduling buys. So those are really advanced things that I don't think you'd like to get into. So that's basically it for Coinbase. Now let's go on to my personal favorite and what I would highly recommend for beginners, and that is Bitcoin Core. Now, Bitcoin Core, as the tagline is telling you, helping you keep Bitcoin decentralized, which was the reason why Bitcoin was created. And Coinbase will slightly delve into that phase where it really is trying to make Bitcoin centralized, in the sense that they basically link your personal information with your Bitcoin address, and Bitcoin was meant to be anonymous. So let me just explain what Bitcoin Core is. So this again is a Bitcoin wallet which provides you with your address and you can basically perform transactions. Now the thing I like about this is the fact that you basically download it on your desktop, whether you're running Windows, a Mac OS or any Linux distro. You basically control everything about your Bitcoin wallet. So advantages are it's very stable. It's very secure because your anonymity is in your hands. It's on your desktop. So no one can really get to know anything about that. As I said, it's very, very stable in the sense that, again, everything is up to you. You keep it running when you want. You basically control your transactions. You can view your transactions and no one is doing it for you. The only downfall to this service is that it doesn't work on the internet and on mobile devices. And I guess that's also just that you may look at it as an advantage, because when it's running on your mobile devices, it's a higher risk that your device may get compromised and that your information, such as your Bitcoin address, may be leaked. So I'm actually going to be demonstrating this right now. So what you want to do is just hit download Bitcoin Core, and you can download it for whatever operating system that you're currently running. I'm going to download it for Windows 64-bit. Again, any operating system that you want is supported. So I've already downloaded it and it's right here. It's the setup. Just run the setup. Again, if you're another operating system, it should be pretty similar. So let me just start the setup. And here we are. So welcome to the Bitcoin Core setup wizard. So just like all Windows setup wizards, we're just going to hit next, 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 and let it install. It's going to take a few seconds, hopefully not too long. And there we are. I'm just going to hit next and run Bitcoin Core so we can actually get started. All right, now it's going to basically tell you, welcome to Bitcoin Core. As this is the first time the program has launched, you can choose where Bitcoin Core will store its data. Bitcoin Core will download and store a copy of the blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain. At least 122 gigabytes of data will be stored in this directory and will grow over time. The wallet will also be stored in this directory. Now, a lot of people have been saying this about Bitcoin Core is the fact that it downloads the entire blockchain, and that's 122 gigabytes. Now, this may be it may discourage you from using it, but let me just explain why it's going to store the Bitcoin blockchain, so that basically it just helps with anonymity. And I'm not forcing you guys to use this option, but I'm just going to be demonstrating other things with it. So if you're not comfortable with it using 122 gigabytes of data, that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a custom directory, and I'm just going to put it in my hard drive here, my huge my 500 gigabyte hard drive right here. I'm just going to select that folder, and I'm just going to hit OK, right? As I said again, you don't have to use this, but I'm just going to show you how Bitcoin basically works with this. So let me just show you the program right now. So just give it a few seconds to start up, and it's going to say loading wallet, right? Just give it a few seconds. Shouldn't take that long to start. All right, so it's going to tell you that your recent transactions may not yet be visible, blah, 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 blah. So it's basically going to start doing it's going to start downloading or storing the blockchain data. Now, I'm just going to hide this, and it's going to say Bitcoin balances are 0, 0, and that's because we have not yet set up anything yet. So if you're going to file, you can basically go to this file option right here, and if I open URL, you can basically open a payment file, which I'll get to. You can then say send. You can basically send money or Bitcoin to a Bitcoin address, and you can enter the amount. All right. If you go to receive, all right, it's going to basically give you a label to receive and the message. All right. Now, if we go into transactions, if we go into sending addresses, these are basically where you can add addresses that that you may want to be sending Bitcoin to regularly. So I'm just going to close that because I don't want to add anything. You now want to go into settings, and you can basically encrypt your wallet. Now, if I go into options right here, let it just it's not opening the options. All right, so it's going to say here you can basically configure whether you want to start Bitcoin on system login, size of the database, wallet, whether you want to enable coin control. You can then look at network, where you can change it if you're using proxies, really advanced things that maybe you may not want to basically touch, but in case you want to, these are the settings that you could change. You can then change the unit. I'm just going to be using bitcoins .btc and hit OK. Now, as it's saying, it's going to be basically syncing headers, and this is basically going to mean that it's going to store data. If you look at transactions, you can basically export whatever transactions that you have onto a CSV file or whatever you feel is good for you. If you go into help, you can debug, and you have some command line options. Nothing really interesting there that you might want to check out. Now, if I go back into receive, all right, you can basically just look at the fact that it says use this form to request payments. All fields are optional. All right, so you can say amount, and if I say request amount, request payment, it's going to say payment information, Bitcoin. Basically, this is your Bitcoin address right here, which has a QR code. So this basically is your Bitcoin address, and this is what you're going to be using to receive a Bitcoin, obviously. And you can do this through your Bitcoin wallet, and you can scan this to basically pay instantly or copy the address. So that's basically your Bitcoin wallet, how to set up your Bitcoin wallet, and how to basically get your Bitcoin address, how to basically send and receive Bitcoin, and that's basically it. Now again, it'll work very similarly in Coinbase, but I'll get to that in the next video. Hopefully we can check that out, but it doesn't really need any special type of information to basically access. It's really user friendly, and hopefully you guys can get started with Bitcoin and your Bitcoin wallet and hopefully start making some transactions. So that's basically it for this video, guys. I know it was quite long, but I needed to explain some of these things. So yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.